There's no stopping the collapse of the world reserve currency. There is no stopping the fall of the US dollar. You can't stop it. Most people don't even know this is happening or going to happen because it's going to take only 24 hours, but it's going to happen. It's an impossibility to say it's not going to happen or it won't happen or we can stop it. So all you can do is be on the right side and prepare for what's about to happen.
I'm looking at the crypto markets right now, and I always got Bitcoin kind of going crazy this morning. Just when Bo said it would too, by the way, if you're a subscriber, you've seen his reports. We'll talk about that in a minute, but Bitcoin is over 53,000. It's suddenly shot up about $2,000 just this morning, and it's the whole crypto market is moving. Let me turn it over to you. Let me get your slides up, and why don't you just take us away? What are we looking at today?
Nothing in our world is random. Events in our world are not political or biblical. God does nothing before first speaking through his servants, the prophets. Ecclesiastes, that which has been will be again. I'm just giving people some scriptures to understand, but particularly the Ecclesiastes, that which has been will be again. Please understand this. Like this is an example of what's written in Ecclesiastes. That which has been will be again. Okay, so what is that saying? Look at the cycle chart. I just want viewers to understand what you, Noah, and myself, and all of our private subscribers watch. This is wild, but there's been zero fear for myself, for yourself, for any of our subscribers for the past months. This is like our cycle work for the past 5 months. I'm showing the viewer who's watching this, I'm showing you how history repeats. Not kind of, but incredibly accurately sometimes. And so just look at this chart pattern. You've got in the red there, and also the very top. So the very top, it says historic cycle. In other words, God shows me where to look. And so I pull cycles from history years ago, and then I simply line up the day counts with present day. So the bottom one is present day, 2023, all the way to now February. And so this is actually from our February 22nd latest update. I blocked off the last part of it just because I can't reveal everything. Number 3, 4, 5 in red on the left side there. And then look below. It's to the exact day, exact pattern. Mm-hmm. We watched this happen. And then what do we say? We're going to watch Bitcoin go up. It's going to go up into November, about the 28th. It did it. It's going to drop for 2 days. It did it. And then to November 30th, it rallied all the way up. It's going to top out around the 10th of January. It did it. Watch Bitcoin drop. It's going to fall down to into January 23rd, 0.4. It did it. And then I said, watch Bitcoin turn up. It's going to turn up. And then I said, what? Watch since December. Since December of last year, the reports have said, watch the last week of what?
Yep, last week of February. And that's why I started this off. I'm looking at the crypto charts this morning, and everything is just booming. So I was so excited to have you on this morning. It's just perfect timing, just like you've been saying.
I want viewers to understand that nothing in our world is random. So people that tell you, there's people out there, it's like that the future's random. We're not sure what's going to happen in the future. We have control over the future. No, you don't. God wrote the end from the beginning. I don't care what anybody says. There's no randomness to the world. The only thing that we have control over is what side of the fence we're sitting on when Christ returns, or do we get taken up? My point is, you have no control. You can only prepare for what's coming. That's what I want people to understand. There's no way you can stop what's coming. It's coming. It's a double-edged sword. It's the worst time in human history is about to start. Mm-hmm. In the best time in human history that we're about to watch. Get it? When God intervenes, it's both. It's judgment and vindication at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so what I want people to understand is there's no stopping the collapse of the world reserve currency. There is no stopping the fall of the US dollar. You can't stop it. Most people don't even know this is happening or going to happen because it's going to take only 24 hours, but it's going to happen. It's an impossibility to say it's not going to happen or it won't happen or we can stop it. So all you can do is be on the right side and prepare for what's about to happen. Why is Bitcoin beginning to move? Because the billionaires have a lot of money sitting in their accounts. So you just got to put pieces together.
Yeah, it was, Bo. It was just this morning, news breaking that the Walton family, the Walmart, all the heirs, that they're selling billions of dollars of their shares in Walmart. That has not happened to this degree. You mentioned Amazon Bezos. He's been selling a lot. And then you also have Jamie Dimon, the head of JP Morgan Chase. I think the story is he has never sold a single share of stock in his entire time running that company, which is I think it's 19 years. And then all of a sudden now he's selling a ton. You've been saying watch the end of February. What are we in for in the next week or 2 weeks in terms of crypto? What can you tell us?
You got to put kind of two things together, right? Because if you go to our past podcast, 2 or 3 podcasts, since January, we've been saying that January, February into the month of March. And why was March important? Okay, because March is their Mars, the planet, the red planet Mars. They use this stuff, this astrology stuff, and Mars is the god of war.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about over and over again, if anybody who brings on an attack or tries to sell oil in other currencies or tax the US dollar is an act of war. We talked about Saddam Hussein, we talked about Gaddafi. Right now, you got the BRICS nations, 70%, roughly, maybe 60, 70% of the world population is now had enough of these globalists creating money out of thin air and then throwing around their weight to tell people and nations what to do. And so now the BRICS have come together as one to challenge the supremacy of the US dollar. And the next 90 days, March, April, and May, are going to be wild. When the dollar loses its status as the world reserve currency, the cycle charts are showing that Bitcoin is going to have a very powerful move. Okay, I'm telling you, you can't stop what's coming. Those who have, who own precious metals are in a good position because God's going to flip the financial scales. When that happens, the world is going to stop using the US dollar for transactions, meaning that if you want to buy something in a different country, they won't accept the dollar. You won't be able to send a wire or a check. They're not going to accept it as payment because it lost the status of the world reserve currency. This is going to be historically horrible for the United States. Horrible. But when this event goes down, the nations are going to basically reject the US dollar as payment. And so you will need to learn how to transact and how to use your phone and how to make transactions using the blockchain. And so, you and I are already a part of it, understand that, but a lot of people don't understand what blockchain is and how to use that. But whether you like it or not, you're going to need to learn how to use that. And then secondly, Bitcoin and many of the alternate coins that we have in our newsletter are going to explode powerfully vertical in price. Why? Because the dollar is no longer the world reserve currency. So everything's playing out perfectly. What we're waiting for is the powerful move to the upside where it blows, but it's because of a worldwide, particularly attack on the US dollar, and it loses its supremacy as a world reserve currency. And then people are going to be scrambling saying, how do I get involved in cryptocurrencies? Bitcoin's, super expensive. Are there other coins that I can buy that are less expensive? And so we have all, many really, we cover 10 or a dozen coins in our newsletter, but we cover, coins that are not like 50,000, you don't need to spend 50,000 plus for one Bitcoin when there's other coins that are far less expensive and are actually ultimately going to outperform the performance of Bitcoin that's about to happen. So it's going to happen whether you like it or not, whether you think you need it or not, it's coming.
I think it's so important for people right now. If you don't really know how to do this stuff, if it's intimidating to you, if you're scared about it, or if you like what you're hearing and you want to get into crypto, but you don't know how, Bo set up this easycryptoschool.com. And I always love talking about this because I always get so much good feedback on it. People really enjoy being able to get in there. It's a school. It'll take you module by module from step one to the finish line, teach you how to do it safely, how to do it the right way, what websites and what companies and what exchanges are safe, what is a wallet, how do you set up a wallet, how do you not lose money by sending it to the wrong place. So all of that stuff is in there. You just go to easycryptoschool.com, and then Bo always gives people a discount if they're listening to this show, a spot for putting a code there, and it's going to give you a 50% discount. You just type in WLT49, that's the code. So people can grab that. And then the other thing I heard, Bo, was going back up to your newsletter. You've got all of these cryptocurrencies here on the screen. You cover those. You cover some other ones too. It's not just those, but you've got those covered. And you're right. Bitcoin, it's I'm looking at it right now, $53,400. Now you can buy partial Bitcoins, but the percentage that a return that it can go up is probably gets smaller and smaller as it gets more expensive. If you're loving what you're hearing, but you'd like to get the more detail, you go to gold2020forecast.com. And that's right up on your screen there. And you can get his newsletter, and he's going to give you that same discount there. So look for the discount code box and type in WLT49. He's going to give you 50% off, and you'll be able to get in there, and you can see all the past issues. You can see the future ones, and a lot of good stuff in there. But we got a couple big weeks coming up. March, April, May are the big ones. Expect some big moves up, but then some big volatility. I always like to give you the last word, but man, you came in with a lot of info today, a lot of good stuff. We have 3 huge months coming up, but really March and April just absolutely loaded. What do you want to leave us with?
You can't stop what's coming. You can only be prepared for what's going to happen. The Bible is all about prepare. The Bible is the good news. Actually, I've got a book coming out. People have been asking me forever, can you put it all the pieces together? So I've been working out with a publicist. I should be coming out in late March, possibly April, early April. The point I'm trying to make is all of this that we're watching is by design. God wrote the end from the beginning. So if you understand that the Bible is true, his word is true, God cannot lie. He doesn't lie. And before he does anything, he reveals his secrets to his servants. So I'm trying to show the world of what's coming. You can't stop it.